you have any good examples or experiences of persuading someone who's really pro gun control to see it your way? What are the arguments that you think people will listen to who disagree with us on the right to bear arms and the right to own them and operate them? What are some arguments you think are effective?
In the last couple of years, the demographic of what you would imagine a gun owner is completely different. Whatever caricature somebody might imagine a gun owner is, Cletus out in the woods or something, that's
A
forever
guy
changed.
with a beard and deer heads behind him.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. I show up to the town hall meetings. I'm on the debate stages. I'm talking to the other side all the time. I'm constantly engaging. Right. Once COVID kicked off, and people were legitimately concerned about reduced police response and stuff, you started noticing the gun rush kick off. Then the people that I was debating with, and I'm on stage and in the town halls debating against, I was the only gun guy they knew. And so I would get the phone call like, "Hey, I think I need to buy a gun," from people that have been not only anti-gun but so anti-gun that they're willing to be activist about it, right? Well, once the conversation stopped being ideological and it became a real thing, you might actually need a gun. uh they came in and wanted to buy guns from me, and I was happy to sell it to them because, number one, the Second Amendment applies to everybody, even people I politically disagree with. And it seemed to make them less enthusiastic about opposing us. And
Yeah.
nobody once asked me for the gun that held the least amount of bullets. Once the conversation stopped being ideological and started being, I don't want to be the only person on my block without one.
Yeah.
And the fastest growing demographic of gun owners has been historically people that have been opposed to it. In the last 2 years, I've also seen that facts and data and those things aren't quite as compelling as you would think they are. And it's not just about guns. I mean, this is about so many different aspects of whether it's medicine or climate or energy or whatever. Uh, People get so entrenched in their camps that it's hard talking to each other.
What you're telling me too is personal safety. I mean, it would be the simple way of saying that. It's the argument is about personal safety,
Yeah.
and they still may go buy a gun. Like I think it's funny you mentioned that they never want the gun with the least amount of bullets. They're like, well, I only need a 5 round magazine because that's what
No.
I believe in. It's like not for you, you don't, and you'd be very wise not to want a 5 round magazine. That will be very unhelpful when you run out. And but you're not very trained, not well trained on quick reloads.
The most compelling, you know, argument that I've seen to bring people into the gun community, or I shouldn't say the gun community, but bring people into gun ownership, uh, simply has been the condition of the country over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You have reduced proactive policing, you have bail reform, you have social unrest. Those things have compelled more people into gun ownership than any argument I could ever possibly make.